the greatest on the courts and also in business. This is a definition that fits perfectly for Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's business empire has allowed him to become the wealthiest athlete in the world, surpassing other sports stars like Cristiano Ronaldo and LeBron James. Michael Jordan is an example of how an athlete can transform success on the field into an impressive business career, demonstrating that intuition, long-term vision, and wise choices can make a difference in achieving wealth and lasting success. In this video, you will understand how he managed to become the richest athlete in the world by multiplying the earnings he had as a player, turning his name into a hugely successful brand, and creating a billion-dollar fortune through a series of investments. It's worth noting that part of the story of the partnership between Michael Jordan and Nike was recently portrayed in the acclaimed film Air. However, being a work of fiction, some information may differ or be condensed compared to the real story. Nevertheless, let's understand why Jordan achieved so much success in business. Before becoming a basketball star, Michael pursued studies at the University of North Carolina, where he graduated in coastal geography while taking his first steps as a professional. The major milestone in his business career began with the celebrated deal with Nike, which led to the creation of the Air Jordan brand, soon to be known worldwide, sparking a craze among young people who wanted to have the sneakers with the Jumpman symbol on their feet. Initially, from Nike's perspective, the contract with Michael Jordan was a true gamble. They would create exclusive shoe models for Jordan to wear in games, a significant investment for a rookie. The established goal was to sell at least $7 million per year of the shoe model over the 5 years of the contract, with the possibility of terminating it 2 years early if two types of goals were not met: sports goals and profit goals agreed with the company. The sports goals were not only met but exceeded, including maintaining an average of 20 points per game. Michael Jordan achieved an average of over 30 points, which is extraordinary in basketball. However, the most impressive aspect was the economic results. As mentioned earlier, the goal was to earn at least $7 million over 5 years, with a minimum of $4 million in merchandise sales in the first 3 years, otherwise, the agreement would be terminated. In the end, they sold $126 million in the first year alone. That's right, 18 times the initial goal. Incredible results that launched Nike into a phenomenal rise, a perfect marriage between company and athlete. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan's popularity soared, thanks to his exceptional results and charisma. Not to mention the awards as Player of the Year in various categories in almost every season. This also affected Nike's popularity, surpassing even the wildest dreams of Phil Knight and his employees. To give you an idea, Jordan became famous in his first season, mainly for his dunks and high jumps. He reached the peak by winning 3 consecutive NBA championships in 1991, 92, and 93. Even after a brief retirement, he returned and became a champion 3 more times before retiring for the second time. To top it off, he becomes the star of the movie Space Jam, which took his image worldwide and brought fans who knew almost no basketball rules but loved every minute of the superstar with the Looney Tunes. The film generated additional streams of income for him and placed his figure in the imaginations of thousands of children, who would later become new and avid consumers of Jordan's products. In addition to success on the court and in cinemas, even as an athlete, Jordan begins to diversify and multiply his investments. In 2000, he purchases a stake in the Washington Wizards basketball team and becomes a team executive in 2001. Furthermore, he comes out of retirement and returns to the courts, this time as a co-owner of the team he plays for. However, other shareholders decide it would be better to sideline him as a mere player. Without a voice within the franchise, he decides to sell his shares and plays his last 2 seasons in 2003. Thus, he announces his retirement for the 3rd time, this time definitively. At the end of his career, he accumulates a net worth of around $300 million, mostly coming from sponsorships and commercial deals. It is estimated that over the years, his total earnings from salaries were about $100 million. However, these values were just the beginning for him. The continued growth of Air Jordan, along with the success with Nike, far exceeded the initial 5-year agreement. To this day, Air Jordan is a very strong brand, even 20 years after Michael's retirement. It operates as a parallel brand to Nike, offering a wide range of athletic footwear and sportswear in general, with numerous color and style combinations, that have won over a series of consumers who may not even like basketball or may have barely heard of Jordan himself. With the expiration of the original 1984 agreement, there were several changes in the relationship between Jordan and Nike. Since then, Michael no longer receives a fixed annual payment. Instead, he receives 5% of the revenue generated from the sales of the Jordan brand, including Air Jordan sneakers, with a new model released every year. This condition has become extremely advantageous for him, especially as the brand began generating billions of dollars in revenue for Nike each year and millions of dollars in earnings for Jordan. In 2022, for example, Nike earned around $5 billion from Air Jordan, with over $250 million going to the former player. In other words, with the Jordan line alone, he earned in 1 year about 2.5 times what he earned in salaries throughout his entire playing career. From 1984 to 2022, Michael Jordan received over $1 billion solely from Nike. Interestingly, at the beginning, he considered rejecting the deal with the manufacturer. To grasp the strength of the brand today, each sneaker model has become a collector's item. The company releases a new model every year, and old models are often sold at exorbitant prices in auctions. The first model, the 1984 Air Jordan 1, is sold on average for over $6,000 on major auction sites, akin to works of art. In 2021, a pair of Air Jordan 1 used by Michael in a game was auctioned for nearly $1.5 million. In essence, beyond making Jordan immensely wealthy himself, he was responsible for creating a parallel market that also generates millions of dollars consistently. The Nike deal alone, extensively detailed in the film Air, already guaranteed Jordan success for the rest of his life. But he went much further. In parallel, he launched his own clothing line, the Jordan brand, which produces not only sneakers but also sportswear and accessories. Until 2010, Michael Jordan made some investments in restaurants and other small businesses, but nothing exceptional. However, his chain of restaurants, the Michael Jordan Steakhouse, is a reputable venture with 4 locations nowadays. The first unit, in New York, opened in 1997. And if the dream of having his own team hadn't worked out with the Washington Wizards, he tried again in 2006 when he acquired a stake in the Charlotte Bobcats basketball team. Over time, he acquired more and more shares of the team, reaching over 90% ownership in 2010, giving him complete control over the franchise. In 2014, he changed the team's name to the Charlotte Hornets, reclaiming its original name. The star is estimated to have spent a total of $275 million to buy the franchise. With Jordan's management and his associated name, the valuation increased impressively, especially from 2014. Recently, the sale of the Hornets for an incredible $3 billion was announced. Part of the proceeds will go to a fund that acquired a small stake in the business in 2020. Still, this operation alone has already put at least $2 billion in Jordan's pockets. And he didn't stop at these investments. In 2019, he founded the company Cinco Oro Tequila along with several other celebrities in the United States, including Will Smith. In 2020, he opened a luxurious and exclusive golf course in Florida called Grove XXI, honoring his jersey number. Grove XXI cost over $20 million, paid by Jordan and around 20 other investors. In recent years, he continued investing, mainly in the world of sports. For example, in 2020, he invested in the betting company DraftKings. In addition to the shares and ownership acquired, Jordan also became a board member and consultant for the company. DraftKings operates in the betting and fantasy gaming industry. And do you think he stopped there? Michael also ventured into the world of technology. In 2021, he invested $305 million in Dapper Labs, a company that creates the virtual basketball league called NBA Top Shot. These ventures add up to a billionaire fortune for the star, which becomes increasingly difficult to measure, and it seems it will only grow larger. What do you think? Will he also dominate the billionaire's race? Share your thoughts with us in the comments.